never seen.
Yo, what's up guys? Bill here, Classic Rock and Metal Review, here to lay another boot review on you. This one for Black Sabbath, Berlin 1970, revisited. That's right, this one was already out about 2013, I think. And it's a little updated. It's been updated, a little remastering job, set list correction as far as the running order. And there has been a amateur or audience recording that popped up in the last few years, so it's combined that to fill in a couple songs that were missing. I'll give you an overall review. I'll show you the goodies inside the packaging. We'll talk a little shop about Sabbath at the time, why you don't need this and why you do need this. At the end, if you guys can like and subscribe, that would be cool. Sabbath, of course, founders of heavy metal is a lot of people's opinion, mine also. They're my favorite band. They've been for a long time. You know, form out of the band mythology, Iommi and Ward. When that band dissolves, they hook up with Ozzy, they hook up with Geezer. So late 68, Black Sabbath forms. They're calling themselves Earth up until the summer of 69. The blues covers, heavy blues covers, are turning into originals. First album in October, recording anyway. Released Friday the 13th, 1970. Then you get the recording of Paranoid, June of 70, which wasn't released till later on in the year. So they had one in the can there for a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about this product right away here. It's recorded at the Audimax, maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong, should be Audimax, Der Freie University, West Germany, in Berlin, June 26, 1970. This had been I think this has been around as a bootleg forever, to be honest with you. I never owned it until about 10 years ago when I ripped the Berlin 70 CD off the internet. Didn't think it sounded that great at the time. It was being, suggested it was a soundboard at the time. I thought, to my ears, it sounded like an audience tape. Then a couple years ago, you had a true audience tape come out that had a couple more songs. Why do you need this guy? I'll tell you. If you're a diehard Sabbath fan, you need everything out there. The highlights of the CD are that you're getting the first known recordings of 4 of the songs from Paranoid as far as being played live. You did have the Lausanne, Switzerland show from a couple months earlier. This is an audience tape that sounds amazing. And I'm not into audience tapes. This sounds killer. 30-minute version of The Warning. I think you get Walpurgis on here and Fairies Wear Boots. That's about it. So you're going to get 6 songs from Paranoid here. So that's kind of probably worth it to a lot of people. Or if you're just partial to this concert for whatever reason, this is a definite upgrade over the original Berlin 1970. Like I said, that was 2013. Also, like I said, there was a song out of order on the original 2013 Berlin CD. That's been fixed. We'll get to that when we get on set list. So this is on the Zodiac label. They do nothing but killer work. Best name in heavy metal, collector CDs and bootlegs, for sure, absolutely. I don't think there's any debate in that when it comes to hard rock and metal. Zodiac's your label. Silver press all the way, no CDR junk. No CDR bullshit, all right? Let's just tell it like it is. Let's go down the set list. First of all, you get short intro, if you want to call it that, into Paranoid. So right after it's recorded, now there's a couple different dates. I thought I read in the box, the super deluxe version of Paranoid, that the recording dates were the 18th to the 30th of June. But then I read elsewhere that it was from the 16th to the 21st. I mean, I know they have live dates going on, but I didn't think it was inconceivable they could possibly get to a gig after recording the same day, or maybe just take a day off among the recording dates, whatever. Nevertheless, who really cares? Mid to late June is the recording of this album. So, it's either just been recorded or is still in the process of being recorded when this gig happens. The song Paranoid makes its, I don't want to say its debut, but this is the earliest known recording of Paranoid live. Same for Iron Man. That's the second song played. NIB is next up, which had been last on the original 2013 disc. Now it's back in the right spot in the order. Third. The song Black Sabbath is next. It's a killer version. You get the almost 2-minute intro by Iommi. That's awesome. Same one he does at the Brussels show. It's the 3-verse version. It runs 11 minutes. Killer there. Do I even have to tell you that? We have the Dead Rat Dinner version of War Pigs, so it's, it's labeled War Pigs on there. I'm kind of a little surprised at that. Zodiac knows their stuff. To me, it's Walpurgis when you're talking pure molten evil. Then on to Hand of Doom, and then Rat Salad. So there's your, well, you still have Fairies Wear Boots after that. So there's your 6 songs from Paranoid. Like I said, you only had 2 songs on Lausanne, the other well-known recording anyway. Taken from the audience source that popped up last year or 2, as far as I know. Fairies Wear Boots was added, which was not on the original Berlin 70 from 2013. So Fairies Wear Boots gets added, and Wicked World gets added. Now Wicked World's only a 6.5-minute version, so nothing super special there. Sound quality of the last 2 songs being an audience source, a little more thinned out. Not actually really that different than the rest of the CD though. So, the 2013 Berlin 1970 got labeled as a soundboard. It really wasn't. It's properly labeled here as a radio or a broadcast recording. It's exactly what it is. It's a broadcast recording, but you have to be aware when something's originally on the radio, it doesn't necessarily mean that when it gets to the collector's market like this that they have like the radio's tapes in their hands to make this. This could have been just somebody recorded it off the radio 50 years ago and made a copy for someone else, or made a copy for someone else, and for all we know, this could be a 4th, 5th, 6th generation recording. But so they're just listing this original source here, and you have to be careful of that when you're buying these things. If it doesn't say soundboard source, you get these FM recordings. A lot of times, what they did was just stick a microphone right in the middle of the stage or somewhere in the stage, and that was it. There was no mixing or soundboard editing at all being done at the show. After the fact, nothing. So anyway, the overall quality, it's like an audience recording basically, even though it says broadcast recording. And I rate it actually as a fair to good. It's not great. It's not even very good. It's listenable. Doesn't even come close to the Lausanne quality. Little echoey, a little hiss going on. The hiss gets a little worse with those last 2 tracks from the audience source. Not my cup of tea. You do get, like I said, the known premiere, or at least on CD premiere, of 4 songs from Paranoid. If that means something to you, doesn't really to me. I'm not going to throw this release in the trash, but I'm probably not going to find myself playing this one too much, to be honest with you. But overall, it's okay. It's definitely far behind Montreux, Lausanne, and Brussels from 1970 as far as concerts go, in my opinion. I think there's a couple more shows out there. Not too impressed with the sound on them. I think Philadelphia might be one of them. Anyway, so this ran me, I think, $20 or $22, Japan market. Here's a look at the packaging. I've already showed you the cover on the front cover a bunch of times. Now here's a little upgrade for Zodiac. Instead of just giving you the tray card, you do get, this is the inside of the cover, but then it is actually a little mini booklet. Doesn't fold out to any info, but you do get a cool shot of the band. And what I like about this, man, this might seem like a small thing, but those tray cards, I don't mind them as far as aesthetics or whatever, but that thing wants to slide right the hell out of the jewel case, and half the time it slides down into here. When I go to shut it, I don't realize it, and I crush that tray card all the time. So just something a little beefier stays in place, even if it's just 2 extra pages or what have you. CD itself, cool shot of the band right on it. Silver press CD, no CDR. Let's all say it together. Bullshit. Behind the CD, cool killarness right there, awesomeness. And I've shown you the back a couple times. Here it is again. With your track listing on it. In my opinion, it could have been Walpurgis on there instead of War Pigs. Anyway, now here's something a little different too. I had been ordering my stuff from Japan off of this guy. Been doing this with for, I don't know, 5 or 10 years or whatever. He always threw the numbered sticker right on the case himself, I'm assuming at this point, because now that I've been ordering off the Japan website, they're coming loose, which I thought was a little, the only thing about that is there's a chance of them getting lost. But problem with my, my other guy throwing them on the jewel case, I've dropped a couple of these, jewel cases busted, There's no fixing a broken jewel case, right? And your sticker's gone. So I think I kind of like this better, although now I'm a little, I got to keep your eye on it. It's already fallen out of here a bunch of times. And the other thing too is what I've got a bunch of CDs this year from the website with these, and I thought that they were chopping them off right in the middle of them. But if you take a good look, the circle's still intact. They just the circle's within that border of where they cut it, so nothing's chopped off. It's intact. If you guys are into that, I don't think that's the biggest thing in the world, but so in my opinion, let's round it up. A nice combination of the various sources that were out there before, because you get the complete show, or at least as complete as we know it to be. You get a little remastering job versus the edition from 2013. Overall though, still audience quality sound, and not a great one at that. Average. Like I said, I'm not going to throw it in the trash. Not going to find myself listening to this one too much. Not when you've got Luzon, my favorite from 70, Montreux, which we got off the Paranoid Super Deluxe. I actually got myself a Zodiac version of that too, just because they decided to chop out a couple minutes of like hammering bass drum pedals or something. Anyway, and then of course Brussels show itself. Not the best quality show here, but still an awesome show. That DVD is a mandatory viewing, absolutely. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it, man. Sabbath, Berlin, 1970 revisited. Definite upgrade over the 2013 Berlin 70 show. So, all right, if you guys are digging it, catch some like and subscribe action, and see you later, man. Hope everyone's doing good. Peace out.